What is going on, family? Welcome back to my channel. Today I actually wanted to talk about Getaround versus Turo. So outside of working and vlogging and doing different things, I also have a Turo/Getaround business, and I wanted to share the details since I've been doing this since September for those individuals who may be looking into wanting to start a Turo or Getaround business. So first, I would say overall, more people are more familiar with Turo. But in the next upcoming months, upcoming years, I believe that Getaround will surpass Turo. What Getaround does that separates them from Turo is that they put a tracking device in the car. Now, the tracking device tracks the miles the person drove. It tracks, it unlocks and locks the car every single time. So it's contactless. So if you have a older or newer car that you can't unlock from your phone, like such as a Tesla or like a Chevy, certain cars, some people got so used because of COVID, they got used to not having to meet people, not having to see them face to face, and some people prefer to be contactless. So with Getaround, you leave your keys in the car, and on the app, the guests, once they pay and get the directions of where the car is parked, Getaround allows them the option to lock and unlock the car for as long as they have it on their mobile app. So that's something I absolutely love, because I'll give you an example. I'm going to be traveling out of town this week, and I know that I don't have to worry about meeting up with the guest, communicating with the guest, because everything's already taken care of. With Turo does give you that benefit. Turo, everything could be extremely hands-on. For example, if you have a push-to-start car, something like that, and you don't want to have to meet up with the guests, you can easily just put your keys in your gas tank, and the car will not be able to be used because the sensor doesn't work. So there's plenty of different things that you can do to make your business run consistently. Another thing about Getaround, they control the allotments versus the pay. It's a 60-40 split. Whereas Turo, you can choose if it's a 75-25, an 80-20, a 90-10. So Turo gives you more flexibility with running your business. But what I learned is Getaround just pays more. Another thing I will teach you when it comes to Getaround versus Turo. With Turo, they will give you up to $250 cleaning fee if somebody trashes your car, smokes in it, makes it dirty. Getaround will pay you $150. And the reason why they do that is because obviously they pay you more in the long run. So right now, I'm going to be washing my car and preparing my car for the next trip. And what I do, whether it's with Getaround or Turo, I wash my car after every trip just to make sure that the car is clean and I have up-to-date and relevant pictures of the car. So again, I pay $10 for a monthly car wash subscription, and I get as many car washes that I want on a monthly basis. So it works out. So after I finish washing the car, I will share with you guys the other benefits and the things that I dislike about having Turo and Getaround. All right, guys, the car is washed. As you can see, the inside is pretty much already clean. Already clean and prepared for the guests. I wash the car after every trip. I just like to make sure it's touched up. So after I get done washing the car, I'm going to just take pictures of everything, make sure everything is copacetic. And again, I don't have a luxury car. I just have an everyday economy car. This car is rented out 100% of the time. Why? Because I work remotely. So by working remotely, I don't really need my car. And just making sure that the guest has an overall great experience. So I'm just gonna vacuum the seats, wipe down the top, wipe down the radio, and that's it. All right, guys, so the car is washed and prepared to be rented out. All I have to do is just put pictures of it to make sure I have the updated gas, the mileage, and everything, and then everything is pretty much done. So back to the comparison between Getaround and Turo. Right now I do use both, but I'm preferring to use Getaround more than Turo, because Turo, as I shared with you, It's a bit more saturated in Central Florida. I live in Orlando, so everybody's coming to visit Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. They all are pretty much using Turo, or they're using the everyday rental companies such as Enterprise, Hertz. So it's very saturated. Being that Getaround is more of a newer company, you know, there's not as much screening. So the thing that I like about Turo compared to Getaround is they screen the guests more, meaning they do a background check on them. They look at their license. The person has to upload a picture of their license and all these different things. On Getaround does all that for you. So you're not able to vet and see who's going to be renting your car before they actually get the car. So that's something that I do like about Turo versus Getaround. But pretty much based on my experience, if you're somebody who has a Toyota Corolla, a Nissan, like an everyday economy car, it would make more sense to use Getaround instead of Turo. And the only reason why I say that is because they don't have the same requirements. Turo, your car can only be 10 years old or 100,000 miles. And Getaround will let you use cars that are up to like 12 or 14 years old. So they have more flexibility when actually renting your car out. Turo requires you to get a car checkup, make sure everything is like consistent, no battery, no lights, no tire problems. So Turo is a lot more strict, but you know, your car will be rented out. The one thing I will tell you about both companies is that they are marketing companies. You can rent your car out on your own as a private renter, but you have to have private insurance. However, Turo and Getaround are just marketing companies for you. So overall, I personally prefer Getaround over Turo because of the tracking device, because they give you more money on a daily for your rental, and it's hands off. I don't have to meet with the guest. I could just have my keys in the car and unlock it from my phone, and the guest can get the keys. So if I can give you more of an actual experience, I'll break it down. On Turo, I rent my Nissan Altima out for $37 a day. On Getaround, my car is rented out for $73 a day. Now, the difference is between Getaround and Turo, as I shared with you. Turo is a 75-25 split. Getaround is a 60-40 split. So what I've seen is I may end up making $10 to $15 more on Turo, on Getaround as to Turo. However, either way, the car is paying for itself because I work remotely. So I have the car paying for itself, paying it monthly, and just allowing my credit to get built so I can grow my fleet and get a mid-sized car later on throughout the year. And then I want to get a luxury car, which is the car that I would actually like to drive. So again, based on Turo and Getaround, you know, car hacking, it's a fun business. And last but not least, I think I only work maybe 4 hours out the week. It takes me 10 minutes to wash a car max. So I hope these tips help you guys for anybody looking to start a Turo or Getaround business. But again, if you have an everyday economy car, go with Getaround versus Turo. And another thing is, the most important thing that I can tell anybody wanting to start this business: do your math first. Don't just go buy a car and saying the car is going to pay for itself. Actually do the math on how much you intend to be bringing in, how many days you plan on renting the car out per month. Like, actually do the math. So it's your boy Rich. I hope this information helps you guys. I wish everyone peace, love, and blessings. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.